Header emblems for your second gen Camaro from 1970 to 1981. Let's go over the differences, which cars had them, which ones didn't. There's a lot of information to talk about today. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Matt over here, Lethal Garage, and we are back talking about second gen Camaro content. And today specifically, header panels. Now, some Camaros in the second generation didn't have header panels, or header panel decals, the words they use. I just call them bumper decals, but then that's not true because there's grill decals in some, and then there's header panel. Well, what is a header panel? Let's cover that first. So I have a 1971 Camaro with an RS front end. The 70 through 73 all had the same style front end in a sense in regards to the header panel. There is a emblem that goes right here on the upper part of the front header, and it mounts very easily, slides right in, but there are different ones, and two specifically for 1970 to 73, and on those you can instantly tell who did their homework and who just liked one over the other, and we'll get right into those right now. Okay, so for the sole purpose of this video, I spent a little bit of money for header emblems and grill emblems and whatnot that I'm not going to use. So if this is something that you're looking for your vehicle, let me know, because I'll sell them to you at less than what I paid for them, because I literally bought these for the purpose of this video. Now, these emblems I have right here are going to cover the first swath of emblems made available. Let's see if I can stand this up so you can see it. For the 70 to 74 Camaro. Now, this one, it's not going to hold up. So this emblem right here is the emblem that you would have found on a 1970 Camaro. This is the only year that this emblem was utilized. So it has the script C, says Camaro at the bottom. It's a nice chrome, and then the back, it's pretty generic. Obviously this is a remake from OER here, so it's not original by any means, but they slide on in and they use these, I forget what they call these stupid things, tightening nuts or whatever, but they basically self-thread onto these. I hate this style, but that's what they utilize. So this is your 1970 option. Again, it just goes right on in, uses two nuts to mount in place, good to go. I guess the one benefit is these are almost like lock nuts as well as just regular nuts. They don't tend to ever want to come off once you put them on. So the big change came in 71, so they moved to this red C. Obviously you could see the C is not as script as 1970. It's a nice C. Again, it says Camaro on the bottom. I would say this decal or emblem is a lot more higher quality in regards to build style and look. I do like the 1970s low profile, but if you had a 71 to 73, this would have been what came on your header panel. It's super clean. Again, this is a remake. This came from a company called Trim Parts, and it does come with the hardware. It's funny how many places sell emblems and you don't get the hardware. That's super annoying. I hate when they do that, but pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And then the big change came. So as most of you guys know, in 74, they made a pretty drastic change in regards to the front end, in regards to the header panels and stuff like that. And again, I'm gonna set these to the side right now and we'll lay them all out so you guys could see them. So in 1974, they came out with obviously a new look on the front end. And again, the nice thing is with Trim Parts, they do give you the little nuts to fasten it. But so 1974 was kind of its own unique stance. The emblem actually wasn't on the header. It was in the grill, but it was a unique setup nonetheless in regards to it is the only year that utilized this like grill logo. I mean, it looks just like the header one, but like these ones in regards to shape and everything, but this did go on the grill as opposed to the header. Now in 1975, they changed it up again. So in 1975 through 77, they did move the emblem back to the header. They went with this flat style to meet up with the body changes and whatnot. It was nice to see the header panel emblem make its way back there off the grill, but this is almost a flat. It does have a little bit of a curvature to follow the body lines, but it's pretty, I mean, it follows the same style. The coloring here between these two logos are really different, but the Camaro writing obviously changed. It's changed across almost all of them every time they've made the change. This one's kind of sloppy handwriting. This is more of a big blocky design, but this was the 75 to 77 because in 1978 they came out with a urethane header panel, which they removed the header mount altogether. So in 1980 to 81, they did bring back not the header emblem, but they brought back a grill emblem. And it's weird because they got rid of the white. So they got red and blue, and the blue almost looks like a black. If you hold it just right in the light, it kind of has a blue tinge to it. Hopefully it's coming across in the camera. But they did bring back Camaro. It's a blocky letters with the Chevy bow tie emblem. I believe the emblem started again in 75 on them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you can see the emblem did find its way onto the front in 75 through 77. And then again, the 74 setup, 73 or 71 through 73, and the 1970. So quite a few different options here. I'm going to line them up so you can kind of see them all next. Well, I'm going to mix them all up. Let me here, make sure I get the right backing pieces with the right ones first before I start just throwing stuff around. So got those lined up, that lined up. That one's here. Okay, so now that I have a sense of order, let's see if we can get these to stand. I got this piece of foam. Maybe I could just stab them into it. Yes, that will work nicely. It's not prettiest, but it's working. Oh, upside down. Are you oh. I thought I just ripped it apart. There's little plastic pieces on the back holding it in. So they don't stab people. Okay. So I'm not gonna pretend to be the first person to try to say that they did this, but here is all the second gen header, not all the grill emblems, but I just I picked all of these specifically, especially these ones. Well, this one was an actual header emblem, but the 74 and the 80 to 81 are actual grill emblems, but they were the closest to going back to a header and keeping that Camaro icon there. That wasn't a Z28 or an RS or some sort of call out there, but 1970, 71 to 73, 74, 75 to 77, and then 80 to 81, because again, in 78, they brought out that urethane front setup and it didn't have them. So now let's talk about the heresy of what some people do. Now, there are a lot of Camaro fans out there that are true believers in keeping the cars immaculate and exactly how they came from factory. Then you have a subset of Camaro owners, or modders, is what I like to spin it as, that like to put what they like on the car, whether it's swapping up the emblems, putting a 1970 on a 1973. I've even seen guys find a way to put those emblems on even older cars because they just like the way they look, or not older, but later model would be the proper way. So like putting a 1970 emblem on a 1976 or something like that, not just making something up there, but I've seen it. And there's guys out there who like to debadge their car completely and they hate the fact that there's a header emblem. I'm just here to highlight, here's the emblems for the years. But if you're a modder or have done something different or swapped it up, I'd love to know what you guys did. I plan to run the proper red on my 71 because it's a 71. Even though I have black and chrome accents all over the car, I do like that subtle difference of the red. There is going to be a few other places on the car where I do have red down the road, but it's like one of those things. It's like a badge of honor in a sense. So my car is a 1971. I'd like to follow that, and it's not because of any desire to follow that, but I really like the red over the standard chrome. Now, if you guys ran something different or changed it up, I'd love to know what you guys did. What did you end up running? What year is your car? I mean, even if you want to post links down below, I don't know if YouTube allows that. You can even message me on Instagram at lethal_Camaro, the front end of your car with the emblems you're running. And are you one of those guys that hate it when guys run the wrong ones? I know the 1970 guys truly hate when they see 71 through 73 cars sporting the chrome with black script writing, because it's like, dude, that's a 1970 emblem. It should only be on 1970s. I totally get that. But I also totally get, hey, you know what? The chrome and black, it goes with the style build in your pro touring mod or your resto mod or whatever. And I don't care. I'm not going to judge you either which way. But I do have a found respect for people who do want to follow the exact guidelines of how they were from factory and keep them that way. So I'm going to close this video off by actually putting the header panel on my vehicle, because I'm dying to see what it looks like. So let's go check it out and get that done. Okay, so at the front of the car, got my son Kyle here, help me out. So what I like to do is I do like to pre-thread them so you're not trying to wrench these things down on your fresh paint. But you'll see there's 3 pins. They line right up with the holes. Should slide right in. There we go. I did put a little tape down because I didn't want to scratch the paint. Got my fingerprints all over it. But now I need to go down underneath the car and put the nuts on. This is a lot more complicated to do with the whole front end of the car on, but you can see right there in the center of the camera, the pins. I had to use my hands to finger tight the nuts on there. Now I'm going to try to get my ratchet up there. So I'm able to hold the emblem down from the top. If you can't reach, I'd suggest having a helper. If anything, I would highly suggest doing this a lot earlier in the build. Well, apologies, some of the footage under the car was recorded sideways, unbeknownst to both me and my awesome son. But we have a header panel emblem. It is thick. It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. I kind of wish it was a little more slimmed down, but I think from a distance it pops. Says Camaro. But there you guys have it, header emblems. Let me know if this video was at all useful for you. Installing them is pretty straightforward. 3/8 inch socket or ratchet, etc. For the nuts, at least on my model year. I think the other ones have a couple different sizes, but overall, super simple install. If you're restoring your car, might want to do it off the or before you put the entire car together. Realizing that, but it's really not that hard. I just got really big hands and arms, and it's hard to squeeze in there. So either or, thanks for checking out the content. Hit that subscribe button for more 71 Camaro content. Obviously, we're really deep into restoration. Hopefully here, car's going to be starting up and wiring and all that stuff's going to get buttoned up and finished. Be happy to share that with you, and appreciate you following along for the journey thus far. So either or, thanks for checking out the content, and until next time, I'll see you on the road.